Okay, alright, Billy, look at me. Look at me, listen. Okay, we have not been doing great so far in the game. In fact, we haven't even gotten a single answer yet. But that doesn't mean anything. I have faith. Me and you. Hey, look at me. Me and you, we got this, alright? Now, this is you. I need you to just dig deep on this one, okay? Can you do that for me? I don't know if that's a yes or no, but I'm gonna assume. I'm gonna assume that that's a yes. Alright, so it's your turn. You got this. Alright. Alright. Okay. I'm ready. Go. One word. Two words? Three words? Alright, let's different route. It's a book. No, it's not a book. Okay, maybe. A movie? Movie, sure, yeah, alright, let's go with the movie. Police Academy? No, okay. I don't know what you're doing. Titanic.
25 seconds.
Okay, yeah, thanks. That's not helpful right now. Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Oh, God damn. Okay, you gotta give me something here, man. Give me more. I need something else to go off of. Karate Kid.
And time.
Oh, God damn it. What? What could that have possibly have been? Oh, Gone with the Wind. Okay, no. Okay, now that I know, no, that totally makes sense. No, that's me. That was my bad. You did it perfect. That's on me. All right, maybe next time. What's up, guys? Welcome back to VHS on Tape. If you're new here, this channel is where I do movie reviews of horror movies from the 70s, 80s, and 90s. Well, it's the middle of August and the heat wave continues, so I thought we'd cool off with a nice trip to the desert. And I know what most of you are thinking right now. The desert? Isn't that going to be hot too? Yes it is. Laserblast came out on March 1st, 1978 and runs for 1 hour and 22 minutes. It was directed by Michael Ray. His other directing credit is Aliens Gone Wild. Ooh, sounds fun. It stars Gianni Russo as Tony Craig, Cheryl Smith as Kathy, Dennis Berkeley as Deputy Unger, and Kim Milford as Billy. Yeah, sounds like a woman's name, but it's not. The movie is about a teenager, Billy, who finds an alien weapon in the desert, and it slowly turns him into a monster. Now, this shows it being a full moon movie, but they got the rights to it after it came out because it was partially produced by the Charles Band production. Charles Band started Full Moon, so it kind of makes sense that he would get the rights to this film. Alright, well, if you're ready to get blasted, let's start the movie that is Laserblast.
I was fooling around the desert this morning.
So the music during the opening credits isn't bad. It's not scary by any means, but it does set a good mood. Then we open up on this desert and see this guy who looks like he's had a pretty rough night of drinking. Before this spaceship appears and we get some pretty sweet claymation aliens. So this is definitely unexpected, but I gotta say, I don't hate it. They made it work with what they had. Turns out this guy doesn't like them and they feel the same way, so they disintegrate him. Then we meet Billy, and let it be known that he doesn't like wearing shirts or wearing them how he should. Reminds me of Mike from Mutants. His mom has taken a trip, and he's not impressed. Also, Billy drives a pretty choice van as well, and we see him drive it for a good while. He goes to pick up his girlfriend Kathy, but her grandpa, the Colonel, isn't having any of that.
Everything is hush-hush! Now you leave Kathy out of this! You leave...
And you know what? I like his style. Little neighbor kids playing too loud.
Hush-hush!
Your boss telling you where your work needs improvement.
Hush-hush!
Your spouse harping on you to listen to them when they're talking to you.
Hush, hush!
Meeting somebody and having them tell you their name like you're actually going to remember it?
Hush, hush!
Your siblings telling you your stories about your nieces and your nephews like you care.
Hush, hush!
That's a sweet move. I'm totally going to use that one. Billy takes off, and Kathy comes out dressed like she's a character out of a Charles Dickens novel. You're not going to be wearing that kind of nightgown in the desert. Next, we meet deputies Jeep and Unger. Jeep is the one smoking the reefer. We find out that they like messing with Billy.
Stand there, boy, I'll make you a star.
And these two are absolutely the straight men of the movie. Next, we see Chuck driving and Froggy in the passenger seat. Froggy, that kind of name reminds me of the ice cream man. And they also like giving Billy a hard time.
No, he wouldn't like that kind of party. It's a little too rough for him.
Well, now the movie's tagline makes total sense. Billy was a kid who got pushed around. Then he found the power. Also, I don't know why you guys keep pushing on the issue. My lights were up the whole time. I didn't just turn them on. I do not do the intro and forget to turn my lights back on. That's just not a thing that happens. So naturally, he goes to let off some steam in the desert, because nobody can hear you cry in the desert. That's a fact. Then he finds the thing the guy at the beginning was carrying, and at least it is realistic that he has to figure out how to use it. Then he does what most grown men would do. Pretend to shoot stuff.
Pow, pow, pow.
Totally. I'd definitely do that. He also finds the necklace the guy was wearing still laying in his ashes. Then he puts two and two together and realizes he can make the gun shoot if he's wearing the necklace. So then he does what most grown men would do. He actually shoots stuff. Again, I would totally do that. Next, we briefly meet the mystery man, Tony Craig. Cut to Kathy wearing more century-appropriate clothing, and she sees a red mark on Billy's chest right where the necklace was. Switch to the aliens from the beginning, and we can't tell what they're saying, but clearly this guy is their superior, and he's telling them that they fucked up by just leaving the Laserblast gun and the necklace in the desert. So they head back to Earth. Cut to Craig checking out the murder spot, and the music is decent. Then we see Billy and Kathy at a birthday party, and this goes on for probably too long, a little over 6.5 minutes. But I will say, there's definitely worse scenes to drag out. It's mostly filler, but we do see Chuck and Froggy acting like some real frat bros before Billy stops them. Cut to Billy staring at the alien objects before we see people leaving the party, and Billy in the distance looking a little rough before he blows up C-Money's car. Switch to the sheriff's office where Craig comes in and shows him his credentials. We don't see what they are, but obviously he's from some sort of government agency. He asks him,
If I were to ask you if anything unusual happened here in the last 24 hours, what would you say?
and the sheriff says,
I don't know, nothing much. I did get this call about a car blowing up over the old Walden place, but that's just kids stuff, you know.
You know, the usual stuff. Kids blowing up cars, no biggie. We find out that Billy is going to the doctor to have that rash on his chest looked at. Man, that looks terrible. Kathy tells Billy about Chuck's car, and he doesn't seem to remember doing it.
What? Who'd want to do a thing like that?
Once at the doctor's, played by Roddy McDowell, by the way, he has 270 credits spanning 68 years. I just thought that was worth mentioning. Anyways, the doctor is perplexed by the thing on Billy's chest. Then we see a pretty good makeup effect. Then the doc removes the lump. He calls a colleague and asks him if he can bring him the sample to look at. As he's driving, Billy shows up out of nowhere and laser blasts the doc. Don't worry though, I think he's probably okay. Scratch that, I mean he's most definitely dead. The aliens see this and hit the nitro. Cut to Craig and the police looking at the doc's car, and Craig, who takes the sample the doc had, wants to talk to everyone that saw the doc the day before. So the deputies bring Billy in for questioning, and after he pretends it's spring break, Woo! Craig starts to suspect Billy. Craig brings the specimen that he's found in the doc's car to get analyzed, and they do some lengthy tests on it before this guy concludes.
Material is nothing that comes off this earth. Whatever it is growing.
And Craig asks a reasonable question.
Have you found anything to destroy?
The deputies stop at a gas station, and we see Billy Greenface lurking in the background. And when Unger goes into the outhouse, which is just a terrible place to die, you know? Then Billy laser blasts the entire gas station, and Jeep runs away, but Billy catches up with him and laser blasts him too. Cut to a close-up love scene. I mean, uncomfortably close. And shit. I didn't notice this before, but Billy's wearing a pinky ring. Now it totally makes sense. Because let's remember, guys who wear pinky rings they'll get you killed. Afterwards, Kathy lays the necklace on Billy's chest and that is the correct response in that situation. You get the hell out of there. Craig goes to visit the Colonel, but first we see Billy going on a mini rampage and wandering around like he's lost. Which is weird because he's been able to get around just fine up to this point. I mean, he even knew where certain people would be. Then we see that Chuck got a new car and him and Froggy are cruising around. And again, this goes on for longer than it needs to, like 2 minutes, 18 seconds. But at least we get some good tunes. We see this plane is looking for Billy, and when they find him, they mean business. They both take turns shooting at each other, and Billy finds out that he's bulletproof and celebrates. He finally takes out the plane. Then cut to Billy coming across Chuck and Froggy, and he laser blasts them too. And we get a very dramatic car explosion. Don't worry though, I think they're still alive. Nope. They're definitely dead too. The aliens find Chuck's car, which looks totally fine after exploding. Billy turns back to normal and catches a ride with this hippie.
Yeah, there I was, 30,000 feet straight up. Field of frozen yo-yos, and the string broke.
And I'll be honest, I want to know more about this guy. Like, what's his story, you know?
Turned the corner, ran smack into Betty Crocker. She was running across the sky yelling, "You never outgrow your need for milk."
I feel like they could make a whole movie just about this guy. As they're driving along, they pass a sign for Star Wars, and Billy isn't a fan. And I love this guy's reaction.
Far out.
Also, it looks like Billy can laser blast without wearing the necklace now. Billy puts back on the necklace, not because he has to, but because it's cool. And shoots the hippie out of the van. Billy then goes on a full-size rampage downtown and just shoots the shit out of everything, set to some pretty dramatic music. And I have to point out that this downtown doesn't really seem to fit in with the rest of the city we've seen so far. It's a small thing, but it absolutely looks like a movie set to me. Kathy and Craig show up, and as Billy is shambling up to them, the aliens also show up and hit him with a laser blast of their own. Then they cheese it. So Billy's dead, and that's how the movie ends. So at its core, Laserblast is a movie about finding your way in life, you know? You'll meet people that help you, you'll meet people that don't, but ultimately it's up to you to find your passion. Yeah. And now for some fun facts. Kim Milford was nominated for Worst Actor in the 1978 Stinkers Bad Movie Awards. He was up against Dudley Moore, and you know, I've never liked him as an actor. Lee Majors, John Travolta, and Sylvester Stallone, who actually won with his performance in Fist. F-I-S-T, but still, Fist. In the 80s, Charles Band Productions announced a sequel, Laserblast 2, pretty original, but to this day, nothing has come from it. Probably because nobody would want to watch another round of this. This movie was shown on Mystery Science Theater 3000 in 1996, but they did edit it down. Mostly boring conversation stuff, but also shortened his downtown rampage. The first time a laser was actually operated was May 16th, 1960. I think the aliens were probably my favorite part of this whole movie. So, would I recommend Laserblast?
No.
So, I mean, it's a unique plot, but there just isn't enough in it for me. Like I said, I actually like the aliens being claymation, but overall it moves pretty slow. You know, I didn't really get the connection between the Colonel and Craig, and there wasn't enough action for me. There's worse, slower paced movies out there, but I would pass on this one. If you do want to check it out, again, totally up to you. I'll put a link in the description where you can check it out for free, at least at the time I recorded this. Well, what did you think? Have you seen Laserblast? Did you like it? Let me know in the comments. For my last review, I looked at The Giant Spider Invasion, so I'll put a link up for that so you can check that out too. Alright, well, that's going to do it for this one. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you next time. Alright, well that one's over. That's nice and short. So what are you guys up to? I mean, you want to hang out, or what's going on?
Hush, hush!
Oh, yeah, no, me too, totally. I'm actually really busy. My calendar is really full, so I don't even know why I asked. It slipped my mind. So, yeah, I'm gonna go do all my stuff that I gotta do. Lots of meetings and whatnot, and we'll catch up another time. Yeah.